Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited for these DIYs. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. This little DIY is super cute. So I got these little cup ornaments from like coffee mug ornaments, hot cocoa mug ornaments from the Dollar Tree. Um, they're in the fall. They were with the fall stuff. Like it was these and then foxes and then something else. Um, and I happened to pick up a bunch of them because I thought they were so dang cute. So um, I am going to paint these red. Now, I love my Crimson Waverly chalk paint. It is like the perfect Christmas red. I love it. If you can't find Waverly, I mean, you can use acrylic. I mean, just whatever paint you can get your little hands on. But Crimson, I just absolutely love it. It's the perfect red. So I'm just going to go ahead and paint the bottom part red. You can do any color. You can stain these. You could do them, white, black, buffalo check, whatever. You can use scrapbook paper. If you wanted to do like a cute little design on them, that would work as well. But I thought red would be super cute with these. They kind of remind me of like the Starbucks cup in the holiday season, which is my love language in the holiday season is the caramel brulee latte, and I look forward to it every single year. And so I decided that I was going to do some red cups. Now, in this video, I'm just going to show you like what I did with 3 of them. And I haven't really done anything with them. Like I didn't make them into a garland yet or whatever. I thought they'd be super cute to pop in my little Christmas setup, which is not up yet because my husband will not let me put up anything Christmas until after he has had his turkey. Comment below if you have that problem in your household or if you've got full-blown Christmas all the way up. But it is just a deal. There is pretty much nothing that he doesn't let me do. And the couple things that he's just like a negativity on is anything Christmas before he has his turkey. So, but I have transitioned to winter. So I do have winter in my house. Like I have bottle brush trees. I have nutcrackers that aren't like Santa's or anything like that. I have all the snowy stuff, but I just don't have anything that says Christmas, and I don't have any red up yet. So this is just spackling from the Dollar Tree, and that is my little bowl that I use for my spackling. And so I'm just going to scoop some into the bowl. You don't need a whole bunch because we're only going to be filling the top part that looks like where the whipped cream would be. And then this is just a little white chalk paint. White acrylic paint would be perfect, actually. But I didn't have any. Can you believe it? I didn't have white acrylic paint, so I used my chalk paint. So I'm just mixing it together because the spackle itself is white, but it's like a odd white. It's like hard to explain unless you're looking at it in person. So, but I wanted it to be like a true whippy cream colored white. So I just added some white in there. And I'm just going to mix it up. And it just mixes up really good, really easy. So you've probably seen a lot of people use spackling to do faux food and stuff like that. But let me just show you the easiest way that you can do this. So I just literally used the popsicle stick and I went right over it. And I just kind of put it on there so it looks like whipped cream. If you're into using the whole piping bag, you could go ahead and do that. But like, that's just a whole lot of mess that I didn't want to deal with. So I literally just used a popsicle stick. So I am going to do 2 or 3 layers on here because I want it to look really puffy. And then you're going to see that in my mind, I had this planned out. But of course, there was a couple little snafus in here with my plans. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this to all 3 of them. I'm going to let you go ahead and watch me do this. And what's nice about this is you could go right over that hole, so it doesn't look like an ornament, because I thought it would be even cute to like hang jute string or cording or whatever you're going to use through the little hoop, the little handle on the side. So I am going to show you in a minute, if you wanted to continue to use the hole in the top, what you can do for this, but I am not going to. So I did just take a skewer stick and I just popped through the back and I would leave the hole. So it would dry around there and you would have the hole if you wanted to hang these upright. That's not what I was going for, so I just put a little spackling over the top of that. But that's just so that you have an idea of that you could still use the hole or not. It's up to you. So I'm going to add another little layer here. I did let it dry for a little bit so that it had, the whole dry time wasn't going to take forever because it had too much on there. But I just wanted it to look really whippy because, you know, who doesn't love some whipped cream? And then this is like an iridescent mica powder, and I put it on there and it didn't do anything. I thought it was going to give it some kind of shimmer to it, but it didn't. There's nothing happens. So I left this in here just so you could see that, like, maybe if you want it to be a little shimmery, you could use some glitter, like a white glitter would have been a better idea. Again, I didn't have white glitter, so I thought, oh, well, let me use my luminescent white pearly mica powder, but it just didn't. It did nothing. It did nothing. But that's okay. We live and we learn, right? That's the whole process here. So I went ahead and I grabbed my cinnamon sugar mixture that I got at the dollar store, and I'm going to sprinkle this over there. So I get the sugar look plus the cinnamon. So this was a win. I really enjoyed this. And I did this about 2 weeks ago, and it looks just as good as it did when I sprinkled it on the first time. So these little buffalo check straws, paper straws, I picked up at the dollar store as well. And I'm just going to cut them and I'm going to stick them on top of the whipped cream so it looks like you could, you know, stick your little straw in there and whatever. So this is the part where I was having a little issue with. I was trying to figure out the best way to put the straw in there without making it look like, oh, she just stuck a straw on the top. I mean, I thought maybe if I glued it from the back, you could see that I literally cut the straw in half and then put that in there. And then I had to put some more whipped cream over the top so it looked like it was in the whipped cream. Then I was going to use the other half, which wasn't as fluffy, and I didn't like it. So you'll see me cut another piece, do it again. So it was just layer upon layer until I got what I was looking for. And I would just add some more cinnamon sugar on there. And then I had, you know, that, what's that white stuff called? Spackle. Oh my gosh. I had spackle all over my hands so that I'd get it on the straw. Oh, Lordy. Let me tell you. Sometimes when I look back at these videos, I laugh at myself because I'm thinking, what were you thinking? So this one, I slid it up the side and then I cut out a little chunk in the back because I thought, okay, it'll still give it the rounded look on the front, but it'll be flat and able to stick in there. So I think that was probably the best idea that I had. So then I go put some more on there. And then eventually I finally just wipe off some of the spackling. I glue it down, and then that was the best one. So you do you figure out how you want to do it. This is just the different ways that I tried it because that way I try it and you can see, you know, my successes and my failures, because sometimes it just takes a few tries to figure out exactly how you want something to do. So I'm thinking I'm going to make a garland out of this eventually. Last year I did a little bit of a gingerbread theme on my coffee bar, and I absolutely loved it. So I think I'm going to do like a gingerbread hot cocoa mixture on my coffee bar this year and see how it goes from there. So I might string them on some jute, which you could just glue right onto the back of these, or you can individually hang them from the little handles and I have like a shelf on the wall behind, and I could like stick them down there. We'll see. We'll see what we're going to do with it. But I just wanted to show you that you could take something so simple as a little ornament like this from the Dollar Tree, add a little pizzazz to it, and you got the cutest little cup. So you can personalize these. You could cut out, if you have a vinyl machine, you could cut out like a Starbucks symbol if that's you. You can write Merry Christmas on it. You could put gingerbread latte, a bunch of different things. But the next step is I'm going to show you exactly what I put on top of these. But they came out so cute. Can never have enough cinnamon sugar. So these little gingerbread dudes came from the Dollar Tree as well. These were so cute. They didn't have anything like this last year, so I was super excited to see these and super lucky that I found them because I only found them once. So this is just a brown acrylic paint. I can't remember exactly what color it is. Or if you have those furniture paint markers from the Dollar Tree, you could just paint on them with that. You could use the Waverly Antique Wax, whatever you want to do. But I just needed my little gingerbread dudes to be brown, so I just went ahead and one coat, dried them up, and then I did sand them down a little bit to give them a little bit more of a rustic look. Here I'm using the back of my paintbrush to do the eyes because I cut out the whole part where I tried to do it with just the brush itself, and it was a hot mess. So I'm just going to do a little bit of the detail on here. Now, I'm not a professional cookie decorator. This is not my forte, but this is the best that I could do, and I figured that if I could do this, you guys could do this because this is, we have hysterical fun laughing every year on Christmas Eve when we do our cookies. Even though my kids are big, they still come and love to do it, but we have made the funkiest cookies that you can ever imagine. Mine are the funniest because decorating cookies is not my jam. So yeah, so I just put the details on 3 of them. Then I'm going to take a sanding block from the Dollar Tree and I'm just going to rough that up a little bit. It was just way too like perfect. You know, I wanted it to be a little bit more rustic. And I'm going to glue my little gingerbread dude right to the front of that cup. How stinking cute is that? I love it. It is so cute. So I did that to all 3 of them. I think this little DIY came out so cute. I love it. I can't wait to see what you guys do with these ornaments. If you love these, tell me what you guys do with your coffee bars. Do you have coffee bars? Do you decorate them? Do you do hot cocoa? Do you do gingerbread? Do you do something else? I'd love to know, and I'd love, 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 love to hear what you guys think of this cute little DIY. So this is another quick and easy DIY. These are just the little crates that you could get at the Dollar Tree right here. They make great for all different kinds of things, but I wanted to add a little bit extra to the whole gingerbread little mugs that I did, and I'm gonna do like a full bar, but this is the only one I've done so far, so I wanted to show it to you so you can see, you know, how I'll be working on the little bar area. For my, you know, hot cocoa, gingerbread themed coffee bar. So I'm just going to go ahead and paint the entire crate in the beautiful color red. And I'm going to do inside and out on the whole crate. So here it is, all painted inside and out. Then I'm going to take my sanding block and I'm going to distress the edges a little bit and a little bit in the lines. So I found these really cute ornaments at the Dollar Tree. Now, I haven't seen them again. I only found them once, and it came with a gnome and a candy cane, and I knew that I definitely wanted to do something with them. So I'm going to put this candy cane on the front of my little box right there. I was thinking I could do a heart, but then I realized they have to be facing different ways, so we're only going to do one on here. And then, of course, I have to add a little gingerbread man, and he's coming up next. There wouldn't be an Amanda project if I didn't get hot glue somewhere it wasn't supposed to be. But that looks cute just like that. But of course I had to take it another step further because this is part of my theme here. So this is the furniture markers that you get from the Dollar Tree. They come in a 3-pack. And I had mentioned it when I was doing the little gingerbread dudes in my last DIY. So I wanted to show you that this is what it looks like if you use that. And then instead of using paint this time, I'm using my Posca paint pen. These are truly the best paint pens that are out there. I absolutely love these. And if I probably would have let it dry a little bit more, it would have been brighter white. But I just went over it a couple times to brighten up his little details on him. And then I'm going to glue it onto the box. So at first I put it underneath there. This is why it's so important for play with placement before you use the hot glue. And then I looked at it and thought, no, I'm not digging that. So I'm going to pull them off. Then I got a hot glue mess. So learn from my mistakes. Always play with placement before you put hot glue on the bottom of your item. So I'm going to put him on the other side right there. And I think that came out so cute. And you could put your little candy canes in there, or the little peppermint sticks, or even you know, any kind of peppermint candy in there that could be dropped in some hot cocoa. But the little stir sticks would be really cute so that when you're stirring up your hot cocoa, it's there. I just cut out the word peppermint on my Cricut. I have the Cricut Joy. I love it. I don't do a lot of big work with it, so it's perfect for my small work. Looking at it, hindsight 2020, I would have put the S on the end, so it said peppermints, which I will probably go back and do later, but I think this came out so cute. I hope you like it as much as I do. So these are new. So these came out new this year from last year. These are just wood cutouts that look like ornaments. And so I had picked up 4, but I'm only going to use 3 for this particular project. I couldn't get the backs off, so I just used my heat gun and I heated up. And these are really, really rough. I mean, like, the tops were smooth-ish, but those sides where they cut them out were, like, super rough. So I take the time to kind of sand one of them. The rest of them I didn't, and you're going to totally see the difference when I'm applying the wax to them. But for this particular project, it doesn't matter. You're not going to notice it anyways. So either sand them or don't. Just depends on what you're going to do with them. But I just thought they were, of all the wood pieces I've gotten from the Dollar Tree, like, these are really, 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 really rough. So I'm going to take my antique wax, and yes, that bottle has seen better days, and a baby wipe, and I'm just going to put the wax on the ornament, making sure to go around the edges. Later on, you'll see that I use a brush to get into all those little weird nooks and crannies that the sides have. So I'm just going to do this on 3 of them and clean up my big mess, because, you know, I was making a big mess, but it's not me if I don't make a mess. So the nice thing about the Waverly wax is it washes off pretty easy. If you don't even want to deal with that, you can wear gloves, but I don't have time for gloves. I like to be able to feel what I'm doing. It's just something that I did from when I used to redo furniture, because when you're sanding down furniture, you need to, like, bare hand feel it and make sure that it's as smooth as a baby's butt. And so I just kind of continued on into my crafting life with that. I just really like to feel everything. I don't want gloves in the way. I'm not a hand model. My hands aren't the prettiest things to begin with in the first place, so I'm not worried about it. But if you're worried about it, go ahead and use some gloves. So I'm just slapping some of this antique wax on the sides. I kind of like it too because it gives it more of that, a little bit more dimension on the sides. Again, I really wish that these were smoother, but I don't have time to sit there, and the amount of sanding that it would have taken for me to get these smooth, it's not worth it. Nobody's going to touch them. They're going to be up on a wall. So I just that's why I'm using the stencil brush, so that I could really just kind of squish it into the nooks and crannies. So this wood piece is also from the Dollar Tree. These are newer. I picked up a bunch when I saw them for the first time. And then this wine bottle bag, again, also from the Dollar Tree. I only picked up one, but I knew that I was going to use it for something. I just didn't know what, and I'm glad that I picked it up because it is perfect for this project. Now, should I have washed the antique wax off my hands beforehand? Yes, I should have. Did I do it? No, I didn't. So you're just going to have to look at my dirty little hands as we continue on here, but it never transfers onto anything else that I'm working on, so we're doing good. So I just flip this little bag. I cut off the fuzzy part. I flip it inside out, and I just cut the seams. I wish I had a seam ripper. I didn't, so I just made do with the smaller pair of scissors. And I just open her up because we are going to use this to lay on top of that wood. It's going to be our base to this sign. Now I'm really sorry that some of this is going to be out of the shot. I still haven't got a wider angled lens yet, because if you've ever looked at lenses for cameras, they're like $600 or $700, and your girl, that's not in my budget right now. So we're gonna make do with what we got here. So I do my best to make sure that I try to show you the whole thing in one piece, but we're definitely gonna you'll get the point, so just bear with me. It's so worth it. So I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna lay it over the top, and like I said, this is gonna be our pattern. So if you don't have this particular wine bag, because they had it in the black and white buffalo check, they had it in red and black buffalo check, and they had it in a couple other patterns. Really cute. So we're a couple bucks into this project. So the sign was $1, the wine bag was $1, each one of those ornaments was $1, so we're at $5 so far. I use my glue stick because I am not a friend of Mod Podge, and I do not get along. So we're gonna go ahead and use a glue stick. And then I just used a little squeegee to kind of put it on there. I maybe could have used my Cricut heat transfer thingy iron to iron it out, but I didn't, because you'll see it just smooths itself out. So I'm using some more glue and my big glue stick. These are all from the Dollar Tree. So then I pull out my Disappearing Inks spray glue, and I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be awesome. I'm going to do that. Oh no. Guess what comes right through? I know eventually it'll dry and it won't be purple, but that was irritating. The good news is that it's going to be covered up anyway, so you won't see it even if it doesn't dry clear. But I was just trying to come up with some other ways to help you guys glue this down without using Mod Podge. So if you see the little smoke that is on the side there wafting into the screen, that is my incense. I like to burn incense when I'm crafting. It helps me keep focused, and I absolutely love the smell. And the only place I could burn incense in my house is in my office, because my son and my husband have super sensitive lungs and they can't deal. So I sit there and I soak it all in and enjoy every moment while I'm doing my crafting. So I'm just gonna go ahead and, well, as you see, I'm hot gluing this to the back of the sign, and I'm trying to make it as nice and taut as possible so that it helps keep the glue on the front side. from letting anything move. I think it's going to be perfect anyways. Like I said, I made this a couple weeks ago, and it's hanging on the wall, and it is perfectly fine. So this is going to work. So I just go ahead and hot glue all the way around. Make sure not to stick your fingers in the hot glue like I tend to do all the time. I guess I could have centered it a little bit more, but you get what you get. So all these little stringies, eventually I'll cut them off because they were driving me nutty. Not that you could see them, but you'll see when I turn it over that there are a couple that kind of like pop in the front there. But that's okay. Little pair of scissors and we're good to go. So, and I definitely wanted to leave the hanger on because I did want this to be a hanging sign. So I'm just going to work and glue the fabric around here. So like I said, if you don't have a wine bag, you can use any fabric that you have. You can use scrapbook paper. You can just paint the sign, whatever you want. But when I was looking at this sign and I looked over and saw the wine bag, I was like, no way. This is like the perfect size for this sign. And then don't worry, because the little white floofy part, I saved it and we're going to use it in the next DIY. So I'm using 100% of this bag. So I'm just going to sand this down a little bit just to give it a little bit of distressing. I don't want it to be like totally all together. I want it to have a little bit of a rustic look to it. It's funny because I'm kind of torn this year because I'm doing more of an elegant but rustic. I don't know if that makes any sense. An elegant but rustic decor in my house. I do so I have like green and white and gold is the accent, which is so funny because gold is not my color, but gold is the color of money and bring it into your house. So I thought, why not sprinkle it into Christmas since we put so much money out, putting in my gold to bring it back in. So I'm working on this right here, and my chicken's done on my timer, but we'll be cool. We'll be a-okay. Okay, so I went and turned off my oven. I'm making chicken soup today, so I had to bake my chicken first because my husband's a gourmet chefy, and I'm not allowed to boil chicken. He has these weird things. But anyways, it really does change the taste of chicken soup. So not only are you seeing a craft today, but you learned something awesome about making chicken soup. So I am just adding a boatload of hot glue to the back of these ornaments and gluing them directly onto the sign. So back to my decor, so I have greens and I got snows and I got gold accents, but then of course, like, I do 3 trees. I have a super small house. Okay, so before I tell you the rest of that story, I was thinking I was going to use the gingerbread dude to be the O, but it wasn't going to work. So these are just the poster stickers from the Dollar Tree. I mean, I've gotten so many uses out of those. And I just picked the word joy. Joy is a word that I use all year round because my joy is non-negotiable. I do not do things that do not bring me joy, and I don't let anybody steal my joy. So this is a very special word to me because a lot of people let people steal their joy, and that's just not me. So I got these little black and red buffalo check bows from the Dollar Tree. I love these. They go so great on so many different things. I've used them in DIYs. I put them on presents. I tie them to my Christmas trees. I mean, there's just so many different things you could do with them, and they're awesome. So the reason why I took it apart is because when I laid it on there directly, it's covering the letters, and we don't want to cover the letters. We want to be able to see the word joy, correct? So I just pulled off the back. I'm going to cut it right down the middle, and I'm going to make the bow angle the way that I need it to angle so it sits correctly on this ornament, and I'm going to use my handy dandy stapler to put the base down first. And I thought I could staple through the bow, but let me tell you, you cannot. But a little hot glue goes a long way. Yeah, my hands are so dirty. So this berry pick came from Walmart. These are so gorgeous. So gorgeous. I want to say they're like 98 cents or Maybe this one was $1.98. They're not very expensive for what they are, but I don't want to say that they were that much. So I was looking for my wire cutters, but I couldn't find them. So I used the nail clippers from the Dollar Tree that I normally use on my dowels, but they cut right through this, which was awesome. So I definitely wanted to put a little kind of like a swag on the top of this sign because I love all things green with snow on them. And then I couldn't get it when I was stapling it on. That one little piece in the end was making it difficult. So I cut that off, and I am so glad I did it because it lays so much better. And then we have, of course, we've got to add some Papa Red up there with these little berries that were on the pick. Staple that one on. And then I go to staple it on the other side, but you could see that I had left the little end piece on the green one, so I had to actually take it off in order to be able to lay these two on top of each other. So I'm just going to cut that one off as well. So this is just me just playing with it, seeing where I want to put things. This is the fun part, guys. This is where you get to do it until you like what you see, because this is going to be in your house and you have to look at it. Even if you were doing it for a gift, you know who you're giving it to, you know the kind of things that they like. So you add or delete, any of the things that I put on my sign to make it more personal to you. But I love buffalo check. So what I was saying about my trees is I have, I switch each year between red and black and white buffalo check, or sometimes I do a full red and black buffalo check tree. And then I do my black and white buffalo check tree, and I add gold and green onto the tree. So I live in a really small house, but I have finagled it to where I can have 3 trees in my house. One by the front door. You literally walk right into it. It's right there. One by my sliding glass door, and then I have one for my office. So I'm so excited that this year I'm doing a Harry Potter themed Christmas tree in my office because I watch it like once a week. Now, I know that sounds crazy. I'm an older lady watching Harry Potter, but I just love it. The whimsical and fun. And I normally only watch the first 3 once a week because I love it and I think it's adorable. So I could not wait to do it. So you will see videos with Harry Potter themed in it of me trying to make ornaments to go on it, because let me tell you, Harry Potter ornaments are super, super expensive. So, yep, there's me burning my finger. Please don't burn your finger, guys. Use whatever you have to push that down. This time I happen to be using a pair of scissors, but I'm just adding a little bit of the foliage. Like I said, I just put some on, and then I played with it, and then I put the little bow tails on, and then I played with it some more. It just really is, do what makes you happy, guys. Like I said, don't let nobody steal your joy. If you like to do things crazy, do it. If you want to do it more classic and you could make this look super, this could be a whole different thing. You could do this glam, all different kinds of ways. I just wanted to give you an idea of some things from the Dollar Tree that you can use to make this really cute sign and not even have to have a vinyl machine to do it. I hope you guys love this. You'll get to see it hanging up on the shot in the end. And then, of course, I had to put one more bow on the bottom because I couldn't have a bow on the J and a bow on the O and no bow on the Y. So this is me getting ready to put the bow on the bottom. And I hope you guys like it as much as I do. And you'll get to see what I'm going to do with the floofy part of the wine bag in this next DIY. So this is a quick and easy DIY, and we're going to use that other piece of the wine bag for this. So this is just one of those wine glasses you could put together. Honestly, I can't remember where I got it. I got it so long ago, and I knew that I wanted to use it for a cloche. I was in the Dollar Tree yesterday, and I did see that they had some in multiple packs, so even better. But I want to say, like, it was either the Dollar Tree or the 99-cent store, but I've had it for a long time. So I'm just going to use the top of this. And this wood round that I had picked up from Amazon, it is 3.5 inches in diameter. I even busted out my ruler so you could see. So 3.5 inches in diameter, and this little cloche fits on there perfectly. So this is the top of the wine bag, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut it so that I can measure the cloche on top of it, and then cut out that so it could be the little snow patch underneath the top of the little wine glass. So here it is. I had tried to freehand it. That wasn't going to work. So I just took a marker on the inside, and then I marked it where I needed to cut it at, and I cut all the way around the circle. Sorry, it's out of the shot. Sometimes I get so focused I don't remember that I'm recording myself. So this was one of those instances. So I did cut it, and so because I had, used the outside to measure the circle, I did need to come in just a little bit more so that it's mostly on the inside of this little wine top, or, the cloche that we're making here. So I'm just going to use some hot glue, and I'm going to glue her down to the top of my little wood round. I love these wood rounds. I have smaller ones that I use for ornaments. I've made a ton of different kinds of ornaments with these. I've used the bigger ones for ornaments. They're great, they're great, and they're on Amazon, and they're not expensive at all. So these little gold bottle brush trees come in a packet of 6, and I got them from the Dollar Tree. And remember, I had said that I was adding gold into my decor this year, so I wanted to make sure to add it in, and I thought this was a good place to do it. So it's not super overwhelming, but it looks really good against the white. So I'm gonna do 3. I love to do everything in 3s. It's just my thing. You can add as little or as many as you want that'll fit underneath the cloche, and I'm going to push them down and let that hot glue grab onto the little fuzzy part that was on the top of that wine bag. So I wanted to cover up the bases of these because I wanted to look like they were really sitting in the snow. If I would have cut the bases off, they would have been really short, and it wouldn't have been the right height I was looking for. So I knew a little white paint would cover that up. And then of course I wanted to add a little bit of white paint to the top of these trees, just to give it the illusion of they've been snowed on. So we have that little bit of glimmery gold that comes through, and a little bit of the white on there that gives it just a little bit of snow. And I love white chalk paint for this because it's just thick enough that it really does look like snow inside of this little cloche. So the next thing I wanted to add was a little bit of sparkle in there. I would have used Epsom salt, but it's like big chunks of salt. So I just opted for kosher salt. So I went into my kitchen and I grabbed my kosher salt, and I'm just going to put a little glue on the bases here, and I'm just going to sprinkle it on because I want it to look like it snowed over the top of my trees, and it's covering up these bases so it looks more cohesive. This is super simple. You can stick anything you want underneath this little cloche. You can make as many as you want, use them on your tiered trays, pop them in your decor here and there, and it's just a cute little idea that, this cost me, we'll just say $2, including the round, the trees, the wine bag part, and the wine glass. We're going to say this was a $2 project. So that looks so cute right there. I wanted to put something on the top there, so I thought it would be cute if I added a little pine cone that I got from Hobby Lobby last year, and I just keep them in that little jar there and glue it on top. And then this garland wrap is the ones from the Dollar General, because they are so much better than the ones from the Dollar Tree, and they're the same price because it's like the cedar look rather than the pine look, and it's just so much better quality. So here it is. I hope you love it as much as I do. I ended up adding a little bit of red berries just to pop a little color, because I have red, green, gold in my house and the white. So it worked out pretty good here. And I just thought it was so cute and just a really easy, simple 5-minute little project that I put together to add to my stuff.